cast light at some point along the line.
All right. So that area is still as cold and empty and dead as it was when you went in.
All right. Shall we check out the other side of the hall?
Yes.
We still need to get some clues to this inscription. I assume it's the name of their god or something. But it must be some secret name. They wouldn't just have it be out in the open like that.
So you're going into that other room.
Yes.
So place your guys where they're at.
Just inside, I guess. Should be able to see the edges of the chamber, at least in dim light.
Okay. This large chamber holds a stone altar, but you can tell that it has some pieces of it cast about the room. So it looks like chunks of it have been torn off, broke off. There's a mosaic tile that was once on the western wall, but there's just pieces of it now. And there's thousands of shattered tile bits scattered all across the western side of the room.
That would be this side?
Yeah. And your light is cast so it shows the far side of the wall there. And a shadow's cast from the altar. You kind of hear like a...
Can I look around and see if I see any scorpions or any creepy crawlies?
Where are you moving? Do you want to roll your perception?
Ooh.
21.
Okay. Is there anything you're doing?
I'm gonna fish out a coin from my pack. A silver noble, and cast light on it and chuck it over by the altar.
Okay. Damn. All right. I wish I could give you advantage on that. You already have inspiration, though, huh?
No, I spent it.
Oh,
I
did you?
spent it when I tried to smash the scorpion the first time.
Well,
It's
I
still
think
right
that
here.
was a smart move. Yeah, you get some inspiration. So both of you, simultaneously, you go over and kind of look behind that altar. You see like ratty old sleeping bag, or not sleeping bag, but like furs. Bedroll.
There you go.
Broken broken pottery. You see what looks like, this all is happening in a matter of seconds. You see the carcass of a sheep. You notice blood splatter on the altar, and then the coin flips over there glowing, and there's this mound on the sleeping area, bedroll, and it was kind of moving and scurrying towards the shadows, and it turns and looks, and it goes, "Wah!" It screams and screeches, and it is this thing that leaps up, screeching. And the stink of her is unbelievable. Like this wave of stink, and you suddenly get hit with this thick darkness. You sense evil. And she's shriveled, and her tongue is like out of her mouth. You don't know what it is, but it's down almost mid to her stomach. And she gets into this stance and looks, and then starts just scurrying, like kind of on all fours and on her legs. And she's running towards you because she sees you.
Okay, I whip my longbow up.
We will roll initiative.
Yeah.
12.
12.
She got a 22.
Ugh.
So you both have a 12. So now you both can decide who wants to go before the other, or re-roll, whatever you want to do.
It's up to you. I mean, I think it'd make more sense for you to go first. Yeah.
All right.
More narrative sense.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So through all that ruin and the bedroll and all this stuff, she is making her way towards you, screeching and screaming. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So
She can dash, but not attack. Depending upon how the rules you want to do that.
yeah, she is just running, just kicking stuff out of the way, the tile, all of that. You can see she is
Tongue slapping her thighs.
looks rotten. Covered, her whole front of her is covered in this dirty. I don't know if you'd have enough time to even notice this because it's happening so fast, but she is dressed like the depictions on the mural. So that comes to you.
I bring up my longbow and I let loose an arrow directly at her chest.
Okay.
What are you trying to do?
And do you have inspiration that you might want to use, or
I guess I will have inspiration.
you don't have to? Because we're still
Okay, I'm going to
new at
use
it. It's
inspiration.
up to you.
So what does that mean?
You
Means
roll
you
the
have
extra.
advantage now.
Yeah.
Spend your inspiration, you have advantage.
So I picked the highest.
Yep.
Yeah.
Sit.
19.
Okay, so the arrow strikes.
Sit.
So now
5. Piercing.
okay.
And
So
then
where were you aiming?
right at her chest.
Right at her chest. Okay. And so taking into account, oh, you shot with a bow. Never mind. Yeah. Okay. So right into her chest. So you see her, like, it does kind of stop her a bit, but then she starts digging again, and she's like, "Wah!" Like screeching, like you've never heard this before.
So I'm gonna back up.
So it's Casso.
I will spend my inspiration and cast my last spell, a guiding bolt at it. A bolt guided by my god, and we'll hit with a 23.
All right.
So it's radiant damage if it matters. There's 8 and another 11. That's 19.
Okay.
And the next attack against her, she's now wreathed in divine light, and the next attack against her will be at advantage.
You said 19.
Yeah, 19 radiant.
You throw lightning through your warhammer, your hands, or
Probably through my war. My warhammer is almost like my holy symbol.
okay. You cover her in this lightning, and she screeches and screams, and you see the flesh start like boiling and frying and dropping off of her. And she's still running towards both of you as you're trying to move away. And as she's running towards you, you see it just start like peeling off of her. And then you see her skull, and then she stops screeching. Her tongue falls off, and then she just falls in clumps down to the ground. And she is just a smoldering, smoking ash.
Okay.
So,
All right. Well, it was damn near max damage, so yeah.
that was crazy. That was crazy.
I smite the body again with Sacred Flame. I just...
yeah. So it is super good that you got your perception check and you passed it, and super good about the flicking the light and all that stuff.
All right. Well, our task is complete. At least what we've been sent to do.
So,
I'm going to start just circling around the chamber.
what are you doing?
I'd like to come look at the tiles on the western wall.
Okay. The broken tiles are blue and they're yellow, and it looks like they did depict some kind of huge mural that, from the bits you see on the ground, it's super old. And the ones that are up on the wall, it looks like it was like a sunrise and beautiful, like a rolling hill in parts where you can see. And you saw that shape again of that woman or person that had that symbol on her head, and her arms are out, in broken pieces. You just see the symbol, the head, and some of the fingers left on the walls.
So that's the god.
And you're going to check things out?
Yeah, I'm just going to kind of circle the chamber, and then I'm going to circle back around to the altar, the nest behind the altar, and kind of poke at that and see what's in there.
It is an old sleeping mat. And because you get precognition or omens or whatever, you sense that this thing has been down here a long time. And you have heard of what this is, so you do know that it is some sort of ghoul, that perhaps with the earthquakes that have been happening, maybe it was unsealed, this temple, and this thing was able to sense life up at the top and was able to start grabbing sheep to start replenishing and regenerating her.
Yeah.
The sleeping mat, let me see in bag. On the ground, it looks like there is a damaged, rusted holy symbol. And again, it's basically like kind of a thing where you hold it with your hand, and then up top is that disc with the cow and the horns. And some of the writing is down the handle.
Oh, okay. It's the same kind of writing.
Same kind of writing. So it blessed be to Hathor.
Oh, okay.
And so that's that.
Okay, so
All right.
we know that it's Hathor.
I will keep that, and if there's nothing else of value, I'll just leave it to rot. I don't know. It's a thing. It's an evil thing. I don't think, Commander Shoal, I guess Shoal's left long, been on its way. So I won't say anything over the body. Okay, well. I was hoping we'd find some huge pile of treasure in here, but I guess it's not to be. Well, look at the mosaic tiles. Do they look like they might be worth anything? Like just the broken tiles themselves? Do they have any kind of precious stone or anything?
At the moment, you're not sure. You don't think so. You're new to town, so you don't know what people are,
I'll scoop some of them up and do it.
Okay.
We still haven't returned those goods that we recovered, so perhaps...
what was it that you recovered?
From the bandits. The looted goods from the...
Oh, yeah,
place.
that's
We
right.
still haven't returned those, so I'll pull that stuff back in my pack and say, maybe we can sell these too when we return these stolen items.
So I think that I just want to circle kind of around the room on the way out and see if there's anything that I missed.
Okay. You do, as you're circling around, you're kind of developing a picture. And this place it's become obvious now. You're seeing this was a place of worship. You know nature, temples, and things like that. You do too. But you're seeing now, okay, so this must have been, you're connecting the dots. So the center chamber, you wash your hands and feet. You pay homage to the mural at the end of the temple, on your knees on the, carpet or whatever was laid there. And then you would come into here, which is where the altar was. And this was a temple to Hathor, which I'm not sure if we determined last time if you knew what that was from. It seemed like we
just
did.
vaguely that it was this,
it was this...
People that had predated, this current civilization kind of thing.
Yeah. So it's apparent now that this town, this whole area, that underneath it is this history that is much longer than what the town and the keep would have you believe. Other than that, though, it's been so long that anything, the pottery has been broke. You're assuming that this thing, when it woke up, flew into a rage of hunger, and maybe this thing is what broke the altar. Other than that, you're not seeing anything.
There's nothing that I've seen that indicates why this place is coming from this like dark influence of it. Like, no light on death.
Roll a investigation.
Oh, sure. 12.
12. Nothing you can see.
Okay.
Does it still feel as evil in here?
There is still a feeling of dread and fear, but it is nowhere near what you were feeling.
No. Shall we look at that mural again?
So we know this is supposed to be Hathor.
Right.
Do we do that? What do we think?
Yeah, I think so.
So on the wall, those stones, they don't pull all the way out. So if you picture in the wall, they go shh, and then you turn them like that. I don't have that kind of budget.
No, that's understandable.
So you guys spell out Hathor?
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. You hear this click clank and this kind of rumbling. Cha-chunk, 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 cha-chunk. And clank clank and this like rusty scraping and then rock sliding and all this stuff. And you see the woman with the wings. She goes like this, and her whole torso and that whole section slides over like this. And there is an opening in the shape of those wings into darkness.
What? Well, I think we should come back tomorrow. Or later tonight. I think we should put Sawyer's mind at rest. We should return these goods to the merchants while they're there in the marketplace. And take a rest before we venture any further.
Okay.
All right. So you're gonna make your way out.
Yep.
And what time is it now, you think?
So we remember we rested an hour in there.
Rested an hour.
Yeah.
8 or 9 a.m.
Okay. So we go to where first?
Yeah. Do we still see Sawyer out in the field? Or?
Yeah, he's still tending to the sheep and everything now.
I think we'll approach him.
He sees you as you approach, and he walks over. There's a breeze, you see the weeds and wheat and whatever blowing in his clothes kind of, and he comes over. Is it done?
It's done.
Was it bandits?
No, it was something much worse. There were bandits in this area. They may have been responsible for one or two of your sheep, but the main culprit was a creature of undeath. Something that was probably dwelling down there for maybe hundreds of years.
He makes this holy symbol, this weird holy symbol, mutters under his breath. So we're safe now?
From that, there may be other things. There's still some sort of darkness that settled upon the place.
Underneath the temple?
Yes.
What's down there?
Ruins, old places of worship, catacombs.
My God. Were my sheep down there?
There was at least one, yeah. It was clear that the creature was taking them, devouring them there in the darkness.
He kind of trembles. Oh my God. Well, you've done well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Both of you have a pick. Any two of these sheep. Any two.
We will take you up on that later, but we're well provisioned now. We'd rather travel light.
Bless you both. Bless you both. I need all the sheep that I can manage in order to make a living. I will spread word of your names.
That's all right, I say. And I just start walking away.
Tell me, you work for a company in the keep?
Not yet. Soon.
Well, they'd be lucky to have you both. And he does the the what do you call it? The movie, how they always do that in the distance. They just go like that.
Yeah.
And he waves. And yeah, so where to next?
Back down to the keep, the marketplace first. Go through the, what is it? The southern gate? Is that what it is?
And do we want to have our weapons repaired?
Yes. Well, I don't know. How much is that going to cost?
10%.
Yeah, I don't know how much money.
I have those numbers, actually, so you'll have to do some bargaining with the shopkeep, but so yeah, short sword repair is 1 gold piece each. Leather armor, 1 gold piece. Chainmail, 7 gold piece. Shield repair, 1 gold piece. Warhammer looks like 1.5 gold piece.
Okay. Well, I'll pay to repair my short swords and my leather armor.
So first we have to make it to a
Okay.
blacksmith.
Okay.
So is that where you're heading now to go get your weapons done?
I thought I would on our way in so that they can be repaired as we're taking care of
Okay, so
eating and...
when you come out of the keep, the Honest Blade Smithy is right over... is right here. That's the Honest Blade Smithy. So it's inside the keep. The marketplace is right around in this area.
Oh, okay. Well, I just wanted to hit the marketplace on the way in.
Okay.
To return those items.
All right.
As we're walking in, I turned to Betharina and said, "Do you think we should let the town guard know, or just return it to the merchants?" I think we should maybe just return it to the merchants. I just don't want there to be any misunderstandings. But I also don't want the town guard taking credit for it.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll stop at the marketplace and I'll see if I can recognize some of those guys that were complaining to the town guard after the kerfuffle that we showed up too late for.
Around this time, the market looks like it's going into full swing. You hear livestock in cages, chicken. Chicken people. Roosters crowing. Deals being made. You do recognize a couple that you saw the previous day. There's this man who has some similar goods to what you found on the bandits. This man kind of wanders around. He was doing it yesterday, and he wanders around with different goods and things like that. And
what is Aldenmir's title? Is he a lord, or is he?
He's a lord.
Lord Aldenmir. Mm-hmm. I'll approach one of them that I recognize. Okay. One of those guys.
Whoa, would you like to buy something today?
No, but I think they'll be happy to make our acquaintance. We're, well, not quite yet, but have been in the service of Lord Aldenmir just recently.
Aldenmir?
And we were sent out abroad to take care of some things, and we ran afoul of some bandits who attempted ambuscades, met with their deaths, but we did recover these, and I pulled the bag out and laid it out onto his table.
My God. Did they have red scarves around their hands and such?
I don't remember, honestly. It was a quick exchange. They tried to ambush us near some of the ruins.
It's always the damned Sums. The Sums always wear red. And this is some of my things. Some of this is Emil's. Emil, and he calls, Emil, yes, what is it? Come. And so he comes over, and this man, graying, bald, bigger fellow, 6'2". Yes, what is it? And he sees, oh my! And a crowd starts kind of forming. There's people who are like buying things, and they kind of hear kind of the ruckus of these two, and they come over, and I don't know if you have stuff laid out on...
Just whatever was in that we recovered. I put it all in like one sack, and I just like laid it out there.
Oh, in the sack and stuff. So they're all... And they're hearing these two like dump praise on you, and bless you, bless the house of Aldenmere, and all this, and people are like, yeah, and some of them are like, oh, and they're laughing, and Aldenmere, things like that. You're getting this sense that there's a group of people who are kind of like, Aldenmere's finished, like this is a joke kind of a thing, and then ones who are like, well, they're just happy for the help. And they're like, well, you've done more than the guards have done here, I'll tell you that. If you're able to take out some of the sums, we're perfectly fine with that. Yes, merchants? And they're like, huzzah, and all this sort of thing. And you guys kind of aren't used to this. And you don't really like people. And it's a little, you're not used to being around this sort of thing. And you're used to this kind of praise towards gods and towards stuff. And they're like a beaten down people who suddenly have this ray of light that there are two heroes who would do this. How can we ever repay you? And this fellow comes up and he grabs your hand and puts his hand in. I am Emil Meinhof.
Okay. All right, I'll shake his hand.
And I am of your service.
Well, we plan on being in this area for a while, so show us a little kindness now and again, and I'm sure that'll be enough for us.
Absolutely.
I'll say, as a matter of fact, we dealt with some creatures that were preying on some of the shepherds, and found some of these items in the ruins beneath the temple. And I pull out my bag of like mosaic tiles and the necklace, the golden necklace. I'm gonna keep the holy symbol in my pack.
You see their eyes get big.
I'll say, people in our line of business always need provisions, repairs, and we'd be happy to sell these items if these are of any value to you.
Oh my. The tiles, they're not... This is this man here.
Yeah.
I am a merchant who travels the area finding antiques and things from the civilization that was here before. The tiles, purely of maintaining a record, are priceless. They're not necessarily worth anything as far as money goes, but to the right person, barter could be made easy. So, I
don't seek riches, just goods.
Well, I definitely could make so that you could find anything that you needed as far as gear and things like that. I don't deal with weapons too much. Now, in the keep where you're staying, the Honest Smithy is the place to go. You've walked past it, so you've seen it. He's a good man, a dwarf. Old, grizzled dwarf, but his weapons are sharp and true. And Meinhof is like, yes, I work now, and it is very good. Sometimes I get armors from there, and I take them over to Saltmarsh to sell for triple the price. They are good. And he goes, I go tell people of your adventure. And he turns, and he goes, you see him going to the merchants, different merchants. The house of Aldenmere is reborn! And all this kind of thing.
I did want to curry a little favor with him, but, well, that's a bit much. Okay, then what does he want? Okay, well, I'll say, well, should I hang on to these now until we make arrangements, or should I leave these in your care?
Well, I am familiar with the house you stay at. You could take them with you and I could call on you later.
Very well. Just start scooping stuff back.
I will tell you this, though. There could be more riches and fame if at some point you help us take care of the rest of our son's problem. There's a gang of thieves, a thieves guild over by Knobby End, where the bad folk have decided to live, called the Tin Sums. And they ransack us regularly. They're very good at what they do.
The tin or 10?
The Tin.
10. What is the meaning of that name?
Well, they say that they are master thieves and pickpockets. They say that they could outwit the keenest of minds, even if they had 10 thumbs. So it, over the years, translated to 10 sums. Maybe it was a more of Meinhof's culture that changed it to 10 sums, you know, as he speaks. But they've been a disease. It's made people afraid to even try to buy anything or barter here because we never know when they're going to hit. And they come out of the shadows. They come from nowhere, disguised as beggars, and hit the stands and then disappear. But none of us are brave enough to hunt them down or try to find their hideout.
Well, we have many tasks before us, but we'll see what we can do. Can't make any promises. Well, I think we're more accustomed to dealing with things that are either out in the open or, you know, monsters and things like that.
Well,
but yeah, it seems like you have a problem. So, and we want to do business with you, so we'll do what we can to keep you in business.
Well, then we can barter, and I'll see if I can find someone who'd be interested. A museum, you know, a place to hold artifacts for those tiles. I didn't know that there was anything underneath the temple. We had always heard of something that may have been underneath it, but it wasn't until the earth has started shaking lately that we've been finding things, strange things that have been opening up. So I could bring my wagon in a couple days' time. I'll come to the house and then you can take your pick of anything I may have.
Very well.
And I do know someone who could repair arrows. I noticed that you seem to have a longbow with you. Half-elf, right? Good folk. Quiet. Well, I thank you so much. And he kind of looks in his pockets to try to find... I have to give you something. Let's see. Let me look through my pockets. All I seem to have is 3 silver pieces. And he kind of like puts them out. But it's all I have.
It's more than enough.
All right. So he hands them to you.
All right.
And you see him turn and he kind of is...
I'll replace the silver piece I left in the crypt and I'll give you the other 2.
And you see him go over to Stan's and he's doing this and he looks over at you guys and he goes like this and they're excited. Something has started here.
Yeah, well, let's go find this old grizzled dwarf who's so wonderful with...
You go to the entrance of the keep and you see your 2 favorite guards there. And they're kind of, the one is kind of like this. And he's looking at you guys as you're crossing the bridge. And he looks over at the little mousy looking one who's by the door. He's, oh, I thought you guys had left.
No? We come back. I shake my backpack. We come back with great riches.
Great riches.
Delve the deepest of dungeons. Return
Deepest of dungeons.
King's ransoms.
Oh, I wish it was against the law to lie to guards. My God. So, how do you like your stay at Aldenmere's?
Good food.
Comfortable beds.
Mm-hmm.
You see him like, he knows, he looks at you and he knows you guys are being Weisenheimers. And he kind of just gets out of it, he moves away. turns away, doesn't even regard you anymore. And the mousy guy kind of opens the gate and swings it open and stands there. And you go in. You get about halfway. You're almost to the honest smithy, and it seems a little busier in there. There's a lot of people out, and it's like really crowded. And you see up ahead that there is some like cheering and some bless you, oh, bless you, and all this. And you see like flower petals getting tossed into the air towards something.
Like, where, just in the middle of the...
It seems like the people are kind of bunched up right in between the blue building and that orange, if that's orange there. Yeah, so, and then the smithy's there. Like something's happening at that second gate.
Okay.
But
I'm not going to go out of my way to see what's going on, but keep an eye on it as we approach the smithy.
So you guys are making your way through the crowd. It's tightly packed. You're kind of like rubbing shoulder and shoulder. Both of you make perception checks.
Yeah. 7, I think.
11.
7. Yeah.
Okay. So you're making your way through, and this one little kid, he like kind of like trips and falls in front of both of you. He's like, ah, and he hurts his knee. I've hurt my knee, and he's on his ground, and he's doing this. And so what do you do?
I'll pick him up with one hand, like a cat.
Okay.
Put him back on his feet.
So as you're doing that, you're watching this, or you doing anything, just watching, you suddenly see Bethrina's hand like lash out with like the elf part of her, this elf speed, at a wrist that's trying to reach for your little pouch.
Okay, my turkey purse or my little
Your little turkey purse. And so you look and you're kind of like, like that. And then
it's the little kid or another little kid? Well, do I even see what's...
You don't see what's happening yet.
Right.
You see it's this older kid, and he look at this, and the other kid kind of like kicks loose from you, and he's like, he goes, "Gilded Lancers!"
Is that what he does?
And then they like
Gilded Lancers.
They run off into the crowd. So you're starting to see now that the crowd's not totally filling up that area by the second gate, that the crowd's been parted. There's like a procession or something happening there, and there's flowers still getting thrown. And you see this group of handmaidens holding up the train of this beautiful woman in a white dress with a bouquet of roses, dark red roses, and they're walking very slowly, heading towards the southern direction.
Okay.
So they're not turning down to leave. They're heading kind of that direction. And bless you, Molo the wise, Molo the beautiful. People next to you cheering, and this bodes well.
I guess out of curiosity, is one of the nearby people go, what are we seeing here? A wedding? And what is going on?
Oh, this guy here, who...
Pick that guy.
Oddly, isn't it? His name is Fred Colin.
Fred Colin?
Yeah.
Jeez. Just nothing after that? Just Fred Colin? Nothing? Just Fred Colin?
C-O.
Yeah, okay.
I had to use it. So he turns and looks at
that fucker.
And he says, "That is the sacred bride of Molo of the of the 5 wives. Here it's a great honor to be chosen as his bride."
I suppose.
He's like,
yeah, just kind of
okay. You're not from around here?
No. Is he one of the lords, or?
Molo is the Grand Wizard of the Wizard's Conclave.
Ah.
And I've been here long enough to see his past 3 wives. So, Molo's a blessed gift of the keep. I understand not his ways or what he does. I only know this is what's done round here, and the brides all look willing and happy, and he is the wizard of the conclave, so. And so she's making her way over towards what you're assuming is the wizard's tower, this conclave's tower, which is on that wall there, that southern wall, that blue.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that is Wizard's Conclave Tower. So if you want to label that 5 and then say Wizard's Conclave Tower.
This one with all the...
Yep, that one. You watch that for a little bit, and then the crowd does start to disperse, and you're there and you see the smithy. You see this building with this like farm door that slid open to the side. There is this dwarf, and you hear this clank, ping, clank, ping, clank, and black smoke billowing out of the top of this. And he's there hard at work, leaned over this thing. Beads of sweat coming off of him, and you hear sizzling as it's hitting. It's either that or it's the bacon that's in the pan next to the fire.
So I'd like to ask him if he can make some repairs for us.
He looks up. Good day. How might I be of service, masters?
I'm regarding my warhammer while waiting for her to speak.
I have
Inspecting
a
it.
couple of short swords and some leather armor that I'd like to be repaired.
Ah, yes. Come, let's go inside and I'll take a look. Let's see. Do you have repairs too?
I hold my warhammer aloft.
So you see him make this walk like this into the building. You make your way inside to his front desk that's there. Inside, it's full of weapons and armor of many designs. Some are unfamiliar to your eyes. He lays your weapons down on this red cloth that's on the top of his table. And you see him put this like headpiece on with these like various lenses and stuff. And he starts like clicking them down in different combinations. Yeah. These weapons are well made. I do see some wear and balance issues. They've seen some use. Yes, I think that I can do this. This looks fairly run of the mill. And so I think I can do the short swords. A gold a piece. Your leather armor will take me not too long, a little bit. There's some punctures, some tears. That'll be a gold piece. And then...
My warhammer, my chainmail.
Okay, the warhammer. Holy man,
Do you have time to do these now?
I do. I would probably say 2 hours. 2 hours I should have it done. Everything kind of died out. Everyone made other plans for the wedding.
Yeah, we saw a little of that.
Yes. Damn strange.
The 5 wives?
Now it's 5 wives.
Well, it's the 5th is what I hear.
Well, I remember Molo of the 3 wives.
Oh.
But I left for a while and came back, so I guess this doesn't happen all the time, but more than what I would...
I thought a wizard spent more time studying.
He is a strange man. He doesn't come out much.
Sounds like it.
2 hours. Give me 2 hours, I should have this repaired. Meanwhile, I do have some gear here. And he points to his walls. There is some stuff up on the walls. The basic instruments of combat. Some I've made myself. Some have come from the dwarven mines up north. Good quality. You've got a couple hours.
Just stow that one sack of stuff at the house, and I don't know what else to do with our time. Well, weren't we just gonna rest and go back?
Yeah, you that. So you can go back to the House of Aldenmere.
Mm.
As you're making your way back, you see that there looks like there's another party that's going into the labyrinth. They've set their banner into the post. There's people cheering with banners of the same symbol of a horned animal skull. And you're seeing the shadows of whatever's going down in there, and it's large. You look and you are like, whatever that is was not human that was going down into that labyrinth. And the people cheer and, oh, that guy, or whatever, So you make your way back. Travers opens the door. Oh.
They've returned.
What happened to all your weapons and your gear?
It's being repaired.
It went that bad.
Yeah. If they see use, it kind of always goes that bad.
Well, the Lord is here if you wish to speak to him. He's in his main hall. Are you hungry? Do you seek food?
Yes. Only thing really to say is that we took care of that favor for him. And...
Oh, you might let him know. I'll make food for you. So he leaves and goes into down that main hallway. So if you go into
Sure.
into that big hall where his chair is, he raises up. I hope everything went all right.
It did. Sawyer has nothing to be concerned about now. Well, unless there's more earthquakes and more...
So it wasn't bandits?
No, far from it. No, it was a creature that had been rotting under the ground for probably hundreds of years, maybe more. I don't know. I don't know the history of this land.
Oh, this is old land. And this was in his field?
Near it. Earthquakes probably opened a fissure that led to the catacombs beneath an old temple.
The abandoned temple?
Mm-hmm.
There was something underneath?
May still be things underneath.
My God. There's been strange things happening with these earthquakes. So, I take it he paid you well.
He offered. We declined.
And you didn't take it?
Put it on credit. And if we get hungry later, we don't need to have 4 sheep following us around.
And what of you, half-elf? You didn't take the riches either when offered. I believe you may be good people. Whenever you're prepared to sign the contract, I'm ready.
Well, we could do that any time, I guess, but we haven't really discussed it too much, but I kind of want to go back to the temple, explore it a little further. There's still a darkness, a malign influence at work there. I'd like to know what it is.
There is a darkness in this area. It probably would be best to wait until the contract for later. It would serve you if you're planning on going back. It's a trying experience to sign on to the labyrinth.
Oh, and also to let you know, we recovered some stolen goods from some bandits near the ruined temple, and we returned them to the merchants in the marketplace, and we attributed that good fortune to you.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. This house needs to develop a good name again.
Well, it'll be good for today, at least.
Well, then, whenever you're ready, I am. I will be tending to business around the house. So.
At the moment, I just plan to eat and sleep.
Okay. So that's what you guys go for then? Long rest? All right.
Yeah, I need to get everything back. Hit dice and spells and everything.
Yeah. Okay. You're all refreshed. And so now I'm making your way back to the temple.
No, we have to pick up our armor.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, boy, that would have been
Trying to
awkward.
trick us.
That would have been awkward. Old school.
Yeah. You didn't say you
You didn't say.
So you screwed.
Um,
Close for your character, so these characters need to.
yeah. So yeah, you without any trouble, you make it back to the smithy. And your stuff is just polished and sharpened to a level that you have possibly never seen these weapons polished to. He is definitely a master craftsman. And you come in and you see him using that cloth to kind of polish out the remaining of your blades. Ah, yes. Here they are. And everything's presented. The leather is supple and it looks like he's worked it to soften it and make sure that everything is repaired and great. And that's it.
Yeah.
So, to the temple then. Okay. So this is 6 hours or 8 hours later?
I don't know. I want to say it's 8, but I don't know.
I feel like it's 8 too. I don't know why that's... I thought it was on here somewhere.
8 hours, at least 8 hours long.
Okay, so it's around 5:30 after getting done at the smithy. 5:30 in the evening, you make your way back down the Merchants Road, and at this point, people have packed up and they're getting ready to, there's hardly anyone there. Things are packed up. People, some of the slower folk are sweeping the floors and picking up the rotten food and putting it in wagons and things like that. Guys who have peg legs and stuff like that.
Right, yeah, right.
And you make your way back over there, and you find yourself at the opening, and you're going to make your way down.
Yep.
Okay.
Cautiously.
Mm-hmm. All right. So what are you going to do?
Just go forward so we can see the wings. See the opening in the mural.
So you look across and you see that the wings are shut.
Interesting. Okay.
And you hear a fluttering up above you. And did you have your hammer lit?
Yeah.
So, and there is this cloud of bats. And they flutter down and they come forward and they are making their way towards you.
What?
Initiative.
13.
5.
Okay, so they got a 7. So
I have naughty dice today.
So they're like swarming up and around the pillars and back up and then coming down, and they're just aggressive, and they're bunching up and then they're trying to move towards you, spreading out around the columns and then coming back. But you're up first.
I guess Sacred Flame? Dex 13?
Dex 13.
Yeah. Blast fire at them.
Okay, so do you roll for that, or was that...
I roll damage. If they make their
okay.
dex save, nothing happens.
They disperse as soon as that flame flies towards them.
All right.
It flashes on the columns as it heads down towards the end of the thing, and they just swarm out of the way and then flow back. That's it? Okay. It is 2, 3, 4. And I think they have to
Get in my square.
get in your square. So they're going to be in your square. So you see these bats attracted by the fire, the light, and the reflection of the armor swarm around him. And you're hearing these tink, 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 and all this screeching. That's 14.
You.
So far, they haven't found an opening.
All right.
Okay, I'm going to come up here, and can I...
So in reality, seeing these things swarming around, they're small like an ordinary bat. There's just a bunch of them and they're swarming around.
So I what I'd like to do, I don't know if I can do this, is just kind of go up and sort of kneel down with my swords up, ready to hack at them if they come to me.
So that's like a defend action?
Or a triggered action, maybe.
Like a hold?
Where you're setting a condition.
So there's a ready action.
That's what it is, yeah. So basically, you set a trigger of like, well, if something steps in an adjacent square, I attack it, something like that, and then your action goes off when the trigger is met, at least until your next round.
The other thing would be dodge, where on your next turn, any attack against you would have disadvantage.
So, I wanna be kind of low and ready.
Okay, so ready action.
Yeah.
Castle.
I'll swing the warhammer at this one.
Okay.
Start swinging around me. 21 to hit.
That hits, but they have resistance to bludgeoning.
Right.
So
Yeah. So it'll just half it.
it'll half it.
Yeah, they're not invulnerable to whatever the term is.
Yeah.
So 9 before it's half, so 3/4, I guess.
Okay. Nine before it's halved?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. All right. Swinging into this mass, some of them get clubbed against the pillar. You hear screeches. There's blood splatter from these little things as they're annihilated by this warhammer. In general, though, the thing just kind of gets out of the way and then kind of swarms around. They're swarming still over Casso. Am I saying it right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 17? All right. So again, having trouble getting through that armor.
Must be allergic to you.
Bethrina. So now, with the hold action or the ready action, if it comes back around and it hasn't happened yet, you can keep that, or
Yeah, you just make another action.
it expires, but you can make another
You
action.
just make the same action if you want to.
Okay, I will choose to attack with my short swords. Both
Okay.
of them.
All right.
21 with the first.
So yeah, that hits.
8 damage.
8.
Go ahead.
And then
No.
the second one, 17
Yep.
and 2.
2. So you're in a blade frenzy doing this stuff, right? And you're seeing them plopping on the ground and stuff flying out of the way. There's still a few of them left, and they're kind of swarming around a little bit, but there's a pile of furry little bats starting to lay at your feet. Casso.
Swinging again. Miss. Only got an 8.
Swarm right out of the way. They are going to take a disengage action they can't attack after that, right?
Right, it's their action.
So they're going to
But they can move. They disengage and then they move, usually.
So they are pulling away from Casso and they're going to swarm over onto you. So that's what they do. And then it goes to you. So now they're on you.
Okay, I'm going to hack at them again with both swords. 15.
Yes.
4. 23. And 4.
Nearly to a bat. You guys have smashed this, and the few that remain go right up to the ceiling and start crawling through those little cracks and stuff that have formed in the stone and all that. So
Approach the mural. See what's going on with the wings.
So you're doing the same thing?
Yeah.
You both notice that the wings have closed and the stones have reset themselves.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. Alright, we'll dial Hathor again.
Okay. So after doing that, then the wings open up again. It turns out into this darkness.
Alright, what do we see? Is it a passageway? Is it...
You shining your light in?
Yeah.
There is a long passageway that's leading out further than your light can see at the moment.
Okay. We'll start. How wide is it?
It is 10 feet
Alright,
wide.
start proceeding. Does it seem even, or does it seem like it's sloping down?
Seems even.
Okay.
Both of you? Okay. So now it's going to illuminate that there is a chamber up ahead. Oh my god. You guys proceeding down the
Yes.
tunnel? Okay. You two?
Well, I'm going to ask him what kind of feeling he's getting here.
Oh, yeah, what kind of feeling am I getting? About the
It's
same.
it's about the same. It's not any worse or anything like that.
It's just a general malaise, a feeling of unease, but nothing greater than normal.
Let's go ahead and put your guys where you want them.
I'll just go to the edge here and let's see what we see.
So once you walk down that passageway, it opens into like a room, and the floor is a dark blue tile, and the ceiling is in yellow. There is a single sarcophagus that rests in the center of the room, and atop it, a sword shines with a dull glow.
Okay. Start to approach, I guess. Do we... No, the doors, nothing weird. I mean, I just want to kind of look around, see.
Nothing that you see just by just looking around or anything.
I'll approach the sarcophagus. Does it look like the same style as the other stuff we've been seeing?
You're seeing in the blue, you see like that symbolism, that language running downward all around in the blue that's there.
Okay. Alright. Yeah, I'll approach it.
Okay, what are you doing?
I am going to go around hugging the wall, looking to see if I am seeing anything in the walls.
A lot of it has overgrown with moss and tree root and stuff like that. Roots. I don't know if they're tree roots.
Roots?
Roots. The wall that you are sliding against is warm.
Okay. Do I see any cracks, or does the wall look solid?
It looks solid.
So I'm going to tell him that the wall feels warm.
That's weird. I don't know. That's strange.
I think I will continue to walk along and see if it changes.
All along all the walls. That warmth is on every wall.
You see, I'm feeling it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
There it is, yeah.
What is the sarcophagus? Is it just stone? And the blade's just laying on top of it? Or
The top of the sarcophagus is a stone slab. The rest of it appears to be like gold-plated stone. Like it looks like a sarcophagus, but that top slab is not decorated. It's just plain. And the sword has this dull bluish glow on the blade.
Wow. Any markings on it?
On the hilt, there is the symbol of the disc, and then the guard is the horn shape.
Okay. Well, what do you think? We haven't really encountered any traps in here. And this was well hidden.
I defer to you.
Well, I'm no wizard. desert, though. That's the thing. I'll pick up the blade.
Are
Go
you?
my more armor away and pick up the blade.
So you touch the blade,
Yeah.
and at first you're not even sure if it is a separate blade or if it's part of decoration, but then you start feeling it move, and you think it feels heavier than normal. I'm not sure. Then it starts moving, and it is like cold, like just complete cold. You pick it up, and suddenly you feel the warmth come into the sword. And the light on the blade grows brighter and kind of shines out in this blue light. And you feel almost a vibration in it. But other than that,
Are there any changes happening elsewhere in the room as this is happening?
do a perception.
8.
You can't be sure.
Magical blade? I don't know. Must be. Don't know what kind of effects it would have. I don't much want to. I mean, unless there's something in it that needs to be put down, I don't much want to defile a tomb.
Can I come and put my hands on the sarcophagus?
Okay. What are you trying to do?
See if I feel the heat that I feel from the walls.
It feels ice cold. And do you have inspiration? Or did you
No, I
spend it?
spent it again.
Take an inspiration too, because you're really playing the holy man stuff.
Okay.
And I think that is good.
So the sarcophagus feels cold. Is there any markings on it of significance?
Just on that blue there are rows of that language. It's the same language that you guys have noticed throughout this catacomb temple.
Can I make any sense of it?
What do we have you do? Language? Or what was it?
There's no language.
There's no language. I don't know why I keep thinking there's a language skill.
There's history, religion, nature.
Nature. You could try nature and see if maybe, because there is some familiar, like the elvish kind of symbolism in it.
18.
18. So are you sharing this information with him real time, or I guess we can just say
Yeah.
You're making out, this looks very familiar. And so this is definitely the sarcophagus of a well-respected holy person. It looks familiar to you and how you grew up, that this is how you would treat like a priestess or something that had died. They'd get their own chamber, and perhaps even their personal weapon would be laid on or by the sarcophagus. A lot of the tradition, you're noticing a lot of the tradition here resembles elven traditions from long time ago. Things that you read about when you kind of have visits or try to learn about your elven heritage, but stuff that was out of practice, was not used. Old Testament stuff, I guess you could say. Your assumption is that this could have been the main priestess of this order of Hathor worshipping people, and that was her personal weapon.
Okay, so I'm telling him this.
Does it? I want to. Okay, now I want to look at the sarcophagus and see if it looks like it's been disturbed in all these years, or it looks like it's still the same way it's been.
The stuff is faded. The floor is faded from, leaks in the top. The earthquakes may have opened stuff up, because earthquakes have been happening around here for years. It's not but water damage to to the stone, mold or green, stuff like that. But it doesn't look like anyone has been in here.
Oh, okay. Well, I just as soon leave it be. I was just afraid that it might be related to the creature in the other chamber. Maybe she was entombed with, it's either the people that were members of the faith in this temple were entombed here in these catacombs, or she was with her, her underlings. I don't know.
Okay. Looks like there might be nothing more to be found here.
Yeah, it seems that way. It'd be best just to leave it sealed up. But this, and I hold out the sword, I'm inclined to take it just because I know what's might be ahead of us. Can meditate on it. Maybe determine its properties, and could always return it if it seems like a bad idea.
You do what you think is right.
No, I'm open to input if you don't think it's a good idea.
I'm inclined to leave it.
I'd hate to have some curse befall me or us as a result, so. You're inclined to leave it? Okay, so it's kind of metagamey, but if I attune it, I know what it does, right?
Is that how that works to determine what strange items are?
If I remember correctly, you spend an hour with it and you attune to it, and then you just its properties.
Okay.
That's
yeah, I mean,
I can look it up, but I think it's normally how it works. Yeah, you do it on a short rest. Focusing on that, being in physical contact with it. Could take the form of meditation, weapon practice, or some other appropriate activity. And you become attuned to it, and then that. Literally, that's like if you get a magic sword, it's just a sword until you attune it.
Mm.
You don't even get its special properties until you attune it. And you can only have 3 magic items attuned at one time. Take a short. Well, I could meditate on it.
Okay.
And determine its attributes.
I'm for that.
Right.
Is that what you guys do? Are you doing it in this room?
Yeah.
Okay. What are you doing during this time?
I'm watching out. While he meditates, I'm keeping watch. Trying to look to see if anything looks strange or...
Okay. And short rest, you have all your hit die, you have all that stuff, so... Okay. So after meditating on it, do you get visions of what it was, blah, 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 or is that just...
I don't think they
it just
that. I don't
tells
think they
you...
get that into the narrative of it. It's just that you get to know what its properties are, and you get to use it.
After meditating on it, you feel that it was a weapon of this priestess, that it gives off a light by itself, and that anyone attuned to it strikes more true. Do I tell you the actual what it
Yeah,
does?
mechanically.
So
Yeah.
it's a +1 to hit,
Okay. No.
and it glows 10 feet of light
Okay.
in front of it.
I think we take it. We have at least to some degree cleansed this place of the curse of undeath. We can put it to use.
Okay.
Okay, so you guys leaving?
Yep.
As soon as you pass that threshold of that diamond room,
Oh no!
you hear this rumbling, and bits of rock and stuff are starting to fall, and you start seeing this stone slab break loose and start sliding down this channel to close off that room. On the other side of it at this point.
Yeah, we're gonna put it out of there then.
Clunk, and then you start hearing more of that breaking.
Okay, well we're gonna beat cheeks to the entrance.
Roll athletics.
I don't know. It's going to be a straight roll.
So, if
12.
I have the thing filled in, what does that mean?
It means +2 plus your strength. So you'd probably be like a plus. What do you have? +2 2 then. Because your strength is 0.
My strength is 0.
Yeah, so there should be a +2 to your roll.
Okay. So 13.
I got a 12.
You got a 12. This thing comes straight down, so I don't know if you leap through that section of it, but now you're getting the idea that this whole long channel, these things are coming down. Bloom, 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 bloom. And you start seeing the light. Well, there is no light out there, actually. Never mind.
Right.
You don't see anything at
Right.
this point, but you're seeing those things come down. You're running towards that. As you get close enough, your warhammer's glowing, and the sword is glowing too. The night vision, if you're up ahead, you can see. Those wings are starting to close. It's almost closed. This is it. So you gotta. We'll have to roll another.
No!
Whether
We have hero points too. So athletics still.
athletics.
I mean, she can't use her acrobatics instead, or is it just athletics?
Oh yeah. You know what? You could do acrobatics.
Well, I don't have.
Yeah, but you got a +3 in dex instead of a +0 in strength, so.
Well, that still doesn't give me much. So 6.
6. You have hero points.
I do.
I would advise. And then
I got a 19 without hero points.
you got a 19? Okay.
I rolled 16.
So you get through.
Okay.
8 with my hero
8
points.
totals. Get through, that thing's closing up, and you see that she trips the last moment. And you see her like right there. So
Okay. Try and pull her through.
pull her through. Is that strength check?
Probably. Yeah.
All right. Strength check.
Would it be athletics? Well, it doesn't matter because I'm not trained, so just be a strength check. My 16 strength. I'll spend a hero point too. So 15, 16. 16 total.
You drag her out right in time as this thing closes up. But the whole place is shaking.
All right.
And so now you're
We
seeing
gotta go.
those pillars are starting to like do this and start cracking, cracking and stuff falling from the top. Obviously running towards the...
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
hightailing it.
We'll do one more check to see, to make sure you're not hit by stuff. And this is acrobatics or dex,
9.
13.
Okay.
9.
9 total. So there is a chunk of rock. As you're making your way to the steps, a chunk of rock hits him in the back for 1 point of damage. And he falls prone. But he's next to you, close to you.
Okay.
Stuff is still falling. The pillars are now starting to collapse.
I grab his hand and try to yank him up as I'm
Okay.
running.
Is this strength? What's your strength?
Not good.
Now you can assist by giving inspiration.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. In this
Okay.
foul place! And I'll give you inspiration.
He throws he takes the sword or I don't know what. You do something, your warhammer, so that she can grab it easier. Roll the second d20 and pick the highest.
Where does it go? Oh, there it is.
Yeah. You picked the highest, so.
Yeah.
15?
Did
you spend a hero point or no?
No.
Oh, okay. I thought that was a hero point.
So 13 or 14.
14. That was close. Yeah. You barely pull him through that threshold onto that first step before another one of those giant slabs slams down. And on the other side, you hear everything collapsing in. It's all just caving in. And now your warhammer's still glowing, but you can't tell. But the sword is glowing too. And that's it.
Jesus. Stumble out.
So let's crawl out of this.
Yeah.
There's dust and dirt crap coming out of that crack. It's now sundown has come, and you're both covered in dirt and grime. Schmutz. And that's it.
All right.
Right there.
So, not so much a curse, but some ramifications, some consequences.